Okay, welcome to the next video about manufacturing your products. You've hopefully seen all the videos in this series up until now and you're ready to manufacture. So let's go through what you need to do admin wise, because sadly it's not all about the making. We've been through planning, creating, choosing your packaging, testing, deciding on our RP and also getting a CPSR. You'll have seen the videos of my new launch soaps start to appear. But there was a lot of admin behind these, so I'm going to go through that process with you now. Calculate exactly how much of each ingredient you're going to need to complete the size of batches you intend to make for your launch, and then the same again. I say the same again because it's good to have stock ready for your next batch, provided it'll stay within its expiry. This is especially so if you're making soaps like me that take time to cure. You'll need to make them well in advance of selling. If you have these ingredients already with batch numbers and purchase dates and long expiries from a reputable supplier, then great, you're good to go. If not, budget and order these in now. When you receive them, ensure they're all clearly labelled with a batch number. If they don't have one, contact the supplier and ask for it. If they say to create your own, then I tend to use the date of purchase. I also label with the date of purchase for reference if it doesn't have that on or it doesn't have an expiry label. You'll also need to ensure that these are logged in your inventory software. I use Inventora. There's a link below. Prepare your batch sheets for your range. So I have 7 different soaps. I've created this spreadsheet here. In it, I'll put the name of the soap, which is the variant name, the product code, which is a code assigned to the formula that doesn't change unless the formula does, the date I intend to make them, the date that they'll be ready for sale, so for soap this would be in 4 to 6 weeks after the cure, the period after opening is indicated by my stability testing and the CPSR, the batch number I'm assigning to the finished bars, which changes with every batch. I like it to be the initials of the product name and then the date, but you can make it whatever you like so long as you have it on record. And then the batch quantity, in my case 10 bars in a loaf of soap. I then enter all of the ingredients in the ingredients column and include the supplier name and the ingredient batch number. You don't need to write quantities here, just the ingredient, supplier and batch number, as in the batch number for the ingredient, not your finished batch number. You may need to include ingredients twice if you use up one batch and then start another. For example, if I needed 100 grams of shea butter and I only had 60 left in batch 001 and had to open batch 002 to get the remaining 40 grams, I'd include both batch numbers. Always do the batch sheet before I start making, and then I can adjust anything that changes when I start making. I then make the product, as you've seen on my channel. Once the product is made, I head over to Inventora, which is the software that I use for tracking my inventory. You may say, I don't need that, as Shopify does inventory tracking for me, but you need to remember that you have 2 lots of inventory. Your ingredients need tracking and then your finished products. So ensuring my product is set up in Shopify, just a skeleton listing for now is fine. You can make a draft so it's not visible and then add photos and things later. The Inventora's Shopify integration is set up. If you're using a different store to Shopify, you'll need to check it's compatible. Then click on the product in Inventora when it appears. I then click Made by Me and allocate all my materials to that product. Essentially, this is my formula or recipe. And Inventora will cost all of that up for me. I also allocate a number for the batch so it knows how many that formula makes. Now the product's in the software and a formula attached, I can go ahead and click on production. I give it my batch number from my batch sheet and I copy and paste my batch sheet, ingredient supplier and batch list in the notes section. You can allocate batch numbers when inputting the ingredients into Inventora at the point of purchase, but I often don't have them to hand at the time, so I do it this way, as long as it's traceable somehow. I then click Make Batch and it moves it to In Production on the board. I then click Finish since I've already made the product. If you remake the product, then you can add Planned and move it along as you're ready, since it will already be in Inventora by then. So that's all the batch and production accounted for in Inventora. and it will then update Shopify with the inventory. If I'm making a soap, I recommend not moving it to finished until they've cured, else the inventory will be available to purchase too early. Then we need to go to our label designs. I use Canva. I now update the batch number to the batch I just made so that they're accurate, and then they're ready to print when we want to package up. And that's it. I say that's it, but it's a lot, I know. It's to ensure traceability in case anyone was to have a reaction to any of your products. You need to know what batch your ingredients were from so that you could contact suppliers if needed. Same if a supplier does a recall for something and you used it in a batch of products, you'd need to know what products were affected. Doing all of the above makes it easy to track those things. In the next videos, I'll be doing my product labels, and then I'll take you step by step through putting a product on the UK Cosmetics portal. Let me know in the comments if this series is useful to you and anything else you want me to cover. And don't forget that if you want to try my soaps for yourself, then they'll be launching to the UK and the USA on Friday the 30th of August at 5 PM BST or 12 noon EST on my website reviga.co.uk. Also, if you're stuck on anything business and cosmetic regulation related, I offer mentoring over on my Patreon, which is linked below. I also have a business workshop that is launching this week, which will also be available on reviga.co.uk to help you start and grow your own skincare brand. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.